Hello and welcome to the Bruiser and the Wizard. I'm your wizard, Holden McNeely, thinking about re-rolling as a paladin, and here we've got...
I am the wizard, Jacob Young.
No Bruiser this week.
Yes, the wizard and the wizard. The wonderful wizards.
Holy shit, y'all. We're here to talk about Overwatch. What the fuck?
It's a little game. It's an indie darling. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah, right? I mean, honestly, I tried to fight it off as long as I possibly could. I fought and I fought and I fought. And I finally broke down and bought it, and it is like crack cocaine, from what I hear.
Well, let's roll it back for a second, because I want you to imagine that you are the executives at Blizzard Entertainment. And it's maybe even 12 years ago at this point. No, a longer time. And but you have just put World of Warcraft out the door, and it is the single most profitable game in the world. You are just earning so much money. Just put yourself in that mindset.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, at its peak, it had 12 million monthly subscribers at $15 a month. That's raking in $180 million a fucking month for Blizzard.
Now, how do you feel? Like, put yourself in that headspace. Tell me how you feel right now.
I feel like I have a penis and balls the size of a room. I just feel incredible.
What would you spend that money on?
I'd spend it on ice cream and prostitutes.
I would actually spend it on custom ice cream prostitutes.
Oh, that prostitutes you can eat.
I have a very specific psychological nightmare realm that I need to inhabit.
No wonder you like anime so much.
My dick is cold and my stomach's full. So they were on top of the world, and they obviously needed to up it, so they started their new project, Titan, which was a sort of sci-fi MMORPG. For those at home who don't know what that stands for, probably listen to the wrong podcast, but that is massive multiplayer online role-playing game. Yes, I did it. And it was supposed to be 10 times bigger than World of Warcraft. It was supposed to be this next level fucking mind suck. People often talk about that the golden goose is the last game you'll ever need to play.
Right? Yeah. Much like the big space exploration No Man's Sky that has kind of recently came out at the time of this actual recording coming out. But regardless, they essentially in Titan had it so that you would actually work a day job and then fight space aliens in the evening. Oh, in the game.
Yeah.
I'm saying, that's insane.
That's I'm head of accounting for Laser Corp, but at night I like to snipe some fucking scale faces.
Yeah, what's your sci-fi job? I make robot dicks.
I'm a social media partner for Quantum Who Gives a Fuck. But here's the thing. 5 years go by. 10 years go by, and nothing happens.
Nothing happens. It's all a bit of a shit show.
More people are taken off the project. More people are kind of stripped away. It's other teams have put out games in the time since they've conceived of, fleshed out, released, and succeeded. Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, and there's just these 30 people left, and they just haven't been fired, but they're fucking failures.
Yeah, pretty much. Essentially, they just sort of lost the fun in building this project out. And that was a big sort of conclusion that they had reached by the time that it ended up being the skeleton that it was. But that group of people did pull it together. Isn't that right, Jake?
They went back to square one. They're like, why the fuck did we even like video games in the first place?
And I think that's the main thing that Blizzard was able to do. I mean, if we can take it another step back with Blizzard and just say they were founded in February 8th, 1991 under the name Silicon and Synapse, and they released 4 major franchises, including Overwatch, actually, in that list. And that's Warcraft, which, of course, became World of Warcraft, Diablo, which, how would you describe Diablo? A loot...
a click-em-up?
A click-em-up. A click-em-up loot grinder.
And a dopamine feedback loop from which there's no escape.
Yes, and StarCraft, which is the
Korean murderer
game, of course, the addiction game. All of these games have one thing in common, and that is heavy addiction. And also, it's that every time Blizzard makes a decision to conquer a certain genre of game, they crush it. They knock it out of the park. They do it better than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, MMORPGs, collectible card games. The MOBA still kind of struggling.
Yeah, MOBA. Well, one would argue that Overwatch was their answer to the MOBA, though, because it is the perfect combination of a MOBA and a first-person shooter competitive kind of situation.
It's actually a big controversial move. A lot of people hate the MOBA tag when applying to Overwatch. I see it pretty clearly. I feel like it's very obvious, if not in like raw gameplay and like team build up, just the way it's marketed, the way it's built up, the way that character and ability and balance and everything is like built up, how controlling space is all a part of it. MOBAs are if you're over 23 listen to this. If you're under 23, just like, I don't know,
flick off the pod. Flick off, give it the bird, not turn it off, but just give the podcast the bird while we talk.
Yeah, but MOBAs are like usually very free to play games where these characters you pay to get more characters. And it's very easy to run. They are kind of from the same perspective as Warcraft and StarCraft.
Stands for multiplayer online battle arenas, and the most popular ones I would say are probably League of Legends and Dota, which stands for Dawn of the Ages. Very, very popular online. Right now, the International is going on, well, at the time of this recording at least, and I think the prize pool is in the 100 million? Mm-hmm. It's insane. It's a huge, huge market. I mean, it's really something else. It's really mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's it's one of the things that like I played a couple of times and was like, oh, there's never a dull moment. This is like a perfect dopamine machine, and the what's the word? The difficulty curve will go on forever because it's kind of a sport. It is about like strategizing and like being, getting your skills up to a certain level, and then like, knowing your opponent. And it's dynamic. You'll never play the same game twice.
Everything you're saying right now, I would apply to Overwatch. And I think that's how you can really brand it as a sort of combination MOBA first-person shooter. Because like I said, I don't really like either of those things in theory. And I finally broke down and got Overwatch, and I am hooked, man. I can't stop playing it. It's so much fun. I think, if we should maybe kind of give a little generalization of like what the game entails. That's 22 different playable characters and 4 different classes. You've got offense characters, defense characters, tanks, and support characters or healers. All of these different characters, no matter what, even if you think, oh, I'm more into playing tanks, I'm more into playing offense, every single one of these...
I like playing the medic.
Right? Yeah, no one says that. All these characters...
I like to stay in the back and give the burly men touchy kisses.
All of the characters in this game, though, are fun as shit to play. Even the pussy medics. I love playing as Mercy.
What? How dare you? I'm just as vital to the team as any other of those big, strong men.
I even found Anna, a sniper support character, maybe the most unappealing character to me personally on paper, to be funny. I had the fun ass round with her the other day. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I even like this. I hate snipers and I hate healers.
No, that they got an entire community of millions of people to openly embrace a new character that's a supportive grandmother is fucking incredible. Like, they don't even do that in League of Legends. It's always like weird sex ninjas and like rock dicks.
Totally. I mean, that's the thing. I didn't even get to see nipples in this game, and I still enjoy playing as every single one of the characters.
Did you follow Buttgate?
Yes, and we can absolutely get into Buttgate. I mean, of course I followed Buttgate. For those who don't know, it centers around a character named Tracer. She's this British woman. She goes, hey, cavalry's here. And she's really fast, and she's really fun.
It's like if a Disney princess also fought in World War II.
Yes, it's exactly like that, Jake. And what happened was she had a victory pose where her back was to the camera. She's a little curvy. I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't really look that seductive to me. But a mother online got very upset.
I think it might have been a dad even.
No, it was a concerned mother. Jake, I did my homework. I studied hard. And she says, she wrote, what? What about this pose has anything to do with the character you're building in Tracer? It's not fun. It's not silly. It has nothing to do with being a fast elite killer. It just reduces Tracer to another bland female sex symbol. And she said that she was concerned about her daughter and her precious daughter and her precious daughter's precious mind when it comes to seeing that big fat ass. I think she was just afraid she was going to turn her daughter into a filthy muff muncher. But that's just me, and I'm a dirty old man in a 33-year-old man's body.
We have to stop the lesbian menace.
If we don't stop the lesbians now, they won't stop moving in with each other until the whole population will be in one big house the size of the planet. And then what happens? All our resources go to one house, and the whole grid shuts down. That's how they take us over. And that is a lot of actually what the lore of Overwatch is all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's the game was in beta. I don't actually care, and they replaced it with a cute pinup. Suppose I actually like it when there's a creative solution to a thing. They did a really good job of balancing out the character roster so that there's nothing. It's they have the tough guys. They have cool gun dude. They have Soldier 76.
Yeah, Soldier 76, which I would recommend if you were to start playing Overwatch as the first character to try out. He's very traditional, kind of smooth you, ease you into the gameplay there.
He has an assault rifle. He has a sprint. He plays basically like a Call of Duty or Battlefield character. So you're in this weird cartoon universe. You pick up Soldier 76 and you're like, oh, yeah, shoot the guys. I got this. This is easy.
And I love, too, that he's this old man who essentially always says, I'm getting too over this shit. And I think it's kind of a comment on, Call of Duty and stuff like that. Maybe I think it's a subtle jab from Blizzard because he's this old man.
Actually, the story behind it is that Soldier 76... Fuck, I forgot the name of the artist, but when you think of World of Warcraft, when you think of that Blizzard aesthetic with the huge shoulder pauldrons and those nightmare swords with spikes coming out of the blade and skulls everywhere, that heavy metal fucking 8th grade aesthetic
that you find in Reaper,
is the work of a very key artist, I think named Chris Fuck. Anyway,
Chris Fuck. That guy got a bad role.
But he designed this character, Soldier 76, when he was a teenager, and he always loved him because he was a cool.
That's cool.
He was a cool soldier character, which back in the day was Captain America with a gun, and he finally got him in a game, but he was old at the time he finally did it. So Soldier 76 is old.
Thank you. That's an awesome story. Thank you for telling that story.
There's also Reaper, who's another guy. He's he's a cool skull masked.
They nickname him, Edgelord because he's got 2 big kind of shotguns. He has badass moves. He can teleport and he can go into Wraith mode where he goes invisible. But he essentially looks like a Grim Reaper, with the metal face.
Tactical Grim Reaper.
Tactical Grim Reaper.
All of his quotes are just the pain will never cease.
But what I think a good move on their part is a legendary skin that you can give for Reaper is a full on mariachi man costume, and I really appreciate that.
A Dia de los Muertes thing, not just a fat guy on the 7 train.
No. But man, I would pay a lot of in-game currency for that.
You know about the Reaper names Twitter?
No.
Marcus, by the way, in the room right now is super producer Marcus Parks. How you doing?
Oh, shit.
Hey, what's up, man?
We call him the silent assassin because he never says anything on the podcast.
No, we'll talk about Neil Gaiman next week, and he'll have a lot to say. Thing is that the people that are drawn to Reaper because he's such a very 14-year-old dark sensibility is impossible. It's too accurate. Marcus, could you read some Reaper names?
Rankst. Death Lover X. X Corrupted King X. Killer with a 1 and a 3. Horror. Nihilistic. X Lord X Lucifer X. Baby Killer 936.
It's funny. I was on late night the other night and playing solo. And what? You got another one?
Emotions.
Okay, that one breaks the mold a little.
That's great. And his Ultra, by the way, which is explained to they all have special moves called Ultras, and they're all unique and wonderful. And he just shoots around like crazy and goes, die, die, die.
Part of the strategy, of course, is that it takes a long time to build up your ultimate. So, and it does have such an impact on the gameplay, on the back and forth, because if you can wipe out the team in a single ult, that gives you more time to push forward.
Yes, or it can really change the game very, very, very hugely. I have my main right now is Junkrat, which is the Australian bomb throwing guy. He's a bit of a cheap ass, but kind of works for my personal general just me as a human being. And he's got a thing where he's awesome, by the way. He has a grenade launcher, so he's just shooting fucking grenades out over
Spamming.
constantly.
The word is spamming.
Spamming with the grenades. And he also has like C4 where he's throwing out C4 and you can wait for people and then blow them back. And he can throw down these like bear traps or whatever. People get caught in. But his ultra is he just like revs up this explosion tire and it rolls into whatever combat or whatever. And then you can hit the button to detonate it off. So you can literally just take out like a shitload of people very cheaply and just kind of turn the whole game around.
But if your team freaks out, blows all their ults at once, then you're fucked.
Yes.
Because the other team now has just all of theirs ready to go, and if they have their shit together, they can just keep you pinned down forever.
Right. And some ults work with other ults. So you've got, what's her name? The Russian lady, Zarya. She creates a black hole that'll pull everybody together, all the enemies together in one little ball. So if somebody else has their ult ready, you can time them together and just fucking destroy everybody. And nothing feels better than, and that's where really it's all about teamwork. It's all about coordination. If you are on the mic with a bunch of people and everybody's like really ready to play, you can completely just wipe out team after team. I have definitely had afternoon sessions, evening sessions. Let's just go ahead and say I did an afternoon into an evening. And I won way more games than I lost. And then I've had other times where I'm with people who are clearly drunk and not really paying attention and like just losing most of the games. You know, it really, really makes a huge difference, the communication. And that is what makes the game so wonderful and fun, is just that if you are focused and you're working as a unit and you're well balanced with support and attack and defense and tank and builders, you can just really like win game after game after game.
It feels like a sport. It feels like you're actually like engaged in competitive play.
And I have not hit level 25 yet, so I have not been able to play actual competitive play. I'm really excited to do that. I'm on level like 22, but I've been watching the Atlantic, I believe it was called, last week, and they're working towards it's a $300,000 prize purse, the largest prize purse for an Overwatch game yet. They already have training camps and sponsored teams and everything, just like Dota has. It's getting bigger already. I mean, for that fast, I think is pretty unbelievable. But man, watching those dudes, it's incredible. I mean, they are just like. It's like mind-blowing to see just like how good everybody's so good that each team's just constantly wiping the other team out. It's a lot more like one team of 6 will go in, wipe the other team completely, because as soon as one person dies, like everybody dies, you know, because each team is so good, and then vice versa, and it's like a lot more of a tug of war, whereas a lot more of my matches that I play, it's a bit more chaotic and even, you know, like.
So you're maining Junkrat right now.
Pretty much, I'm maining Junkrat. I was enjoying playing as Mercy on support, because the main thing you have to realize too is that you are maining certain characters, but you need to be playing as several different unique and versatile characters, because depending on what they're throwing at you, you need to be able to switch characters at a moment's notice, because you can switch a character upon death. So Junkrat would be my main. Mercy for support, though I think I'm going to move on to someone else for support. She's not
Harambe, the gorilla.
Yeah, the monkey from the moon. Winston. Yeah, Winston's great.
Have you come across Gorilla Squad yet?
I played a custom game called Harambe's Revenge. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not.
Well, Winston does a lot of defensive work. He can set up like perimeters and bubbles, and like his ult is like very good for close quarters combat.
It's called Primal Rage, and he goes completely berserk. He just goes red and just fucking starts just walloping everybody.
So if you're down to like the last, if you're down to your last stand, like if you're just fucked, everyone goes Winston at the same time, sets up like a fucking just death dome, and it's like actually pretty effective in the pinch.
That's amazing. So you can play custom games, right? So at one point, me and my friends who I were with, we jumped into a custom match, and it's called Harambe's Revenge. I highly recommend everybody do it. One team chooses all Winstons, and the other team chooses all Annas, the sniper support character. So the sniper people, you're kind of like all weird sniper support character. You can snipe the monkey, though. They can't attack. And the rule for the Winstons is that you can't use his laser gun. You can only punch. and it's called Harambe's Revenge. I highly recommend it. We literally
God,
were
that
just
sounds amazing.
we were just laughing our asses off for the entire battle. It was like incredible and a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So altogether, this episode has been way too fucking positive. I'm going to say this right now. This universally enjoyed experience shared by millions of people. Which characters do you, Holden McNeely, think are fucking trash, or fucking OP and garbage?
Okay. Well, as far as OP goes, I mean, I don't like Hanzo. He's the one character that he's a sniper character. He's the bow and arrow guy.
He's wearing half a shirt.
He's wearing half a shirt, and I think that's way too crude and lewd. His ult is he shoots these massive. I mean, it's cool to look at, but he shoots these massive dragons across the entire stage, and they murder you immediately if they hit you. It's a way too OP ult.
It's a very slow dragon.
Yes, it's a very slow dragon.
Kind of like getting run over by a tortoise.
Yes. So you can't.
I feel like it's your own fault.
You can get out of the way. I hate May. I think May's a good character.
You do not insult my goddamn Eskimo waifu. My fucking ice cream honey bun. You fucking asshole. You fight me right now.
May is like a brilliantly designed character. She can freeze you. She can shoot up these ice walls. And if someone's really good as May, it's so annoying as fuck to play against. Like incredibly annoying to play against. I mean, she's just the most like.
No, she freezes you in place, then gets real close, and you can actually see her line up the headshot before she takes you out.
Right? Oh my god!
With its cute little Eskimo cheeks. She's Chinese. She was part of a South Pole research team 100 years ago that had a horrifying accident. They had to go into cryostasis. It was like an Overwatch research lab, and everyone else in the lab died, but she finally woke up 100 years later and was shocked to discover that Overwatch had been disbanded and that all of her friends were dead. But she's so cute. She smiles through the pain.
She does smile through the pain. She makes it work, and I do appreciate that for her, but oh man, I hate playing against her. Diva's ult is probably OP, but I love playing as Diva. I think she's great. She's my waifu.
There's they sell like a Diva jumpsuit or, like Lycra bodysuit. So just at every convention right now.
Right now, everybody wants to be Diva in cosplay. It's like ridiculous for sure. I mean, Overwatch in general, but a lot of Divas out there. It's the new Harley Quinn.
I do like that they took it, part of her story is that she's a professional gamer. So, the internet just immediately was like, yeah, of course. So, this isn't part of any official media, but there's hundreds of comics where she's just this, fucking stinky, gross shut-in that just loves Doritos and Mountain Dew.
And then what else? I mean, every time you hear Bastion's ult go off, because at least there's one good thing about this ult situation. If somebody on the other team has it go off, they always have a thing they say. McCree, the cowboy character, who, Marcus, I think you would probably enjoy playing as, he goes, high noon, and
it's
then
high noon.
And anybody in his range who, when he has his guns out, they just immediately get one shot killed. It's a really good ult, but at least when you hear that, get the fuck. You jump out of the way. And then
justice reigns from above.
I think people would have initially called Bastion OP trash, but I think you very quickly learn how to combat his ability. Bastion is the robot that can turn into a turret. Super fun to play as Bastion. But everybody, it's always kind of the thing, people will hate you if you play as Bastion.
I mean, you just held down the left mouse button and just destroyed half a team.
Right.
Very, very important people.
Right. So
I just spent 8 hours of my life honing this game, and you just held down the left mouse button? That's not fair.
It's even better is I've been loving Torbjorn lately because he's the guy that builds turrets.
This is why I don't like Torbjorn.
Why?
He's Scandinavian, of short stature, standing maybe at below 5 feet tall, has a large braided blonde beard. And I think he has an eye patch even on top of that.
Yep.
Not a dwarf. In universe, he is not a dwarf. He is a human being that just happens to have many dwarf-like qualities.
It's kind of funny. One of his legendary skins is a straight-up pirate skin. So I don't know what that's all about. So maybe it's just more of one of those short pirates.
Have you been? Oh shit! Have you gotten caught up in that loot system?
just getting
The loot box?
boxes.
Have you been,
Fuck yeah.
but have you been buying into it?
No, if you buy it, it breaks it. If I started buying loot boxes all willy-nilly, you get a loot box every time you level up, right? And then you get to open the loot box and you'll get some more skins and stuff like
Kind
that.
of like a virtual scratch-off ticket.
Right. So...
Oh, they had those in a Fallout shelter, kind of like that.
Yeah, totally, right? So, like, the moment maybe if you bought one here or there, it wouldn't break it totally, but if you bought, like, the 50 loot boxes thing, it gives you just so much less of a reason to play because you'll just get all that stuff, you know? So, for me right now, I just, like, because I have a legendary... Bastion skin, the wooden Bastion, which is the shit. And my favorite is Junkrat. I got the crazy Scarecrow skin, which rules.
Is it actually called the Crazy Scarecrow skin?
It's just called a Scarecrow. You can see it there at the bottom.
Oh, okay. So you just put in Crazy Scarecrow.
Yeah, I'm putting Crazy Scarecrow. He also has a really cool Jester skin that makes him kind of look like the Joker, which rules. But I haven't. In general, this is all new to me. Like giving a shit about skins, opening loot boxes, playing MOBA-ish games. None of this shit is anywhere in my realm at all. I'm Mr. Dark Souls man. I'm very solo. Playing. Honestly, this year has been the first year I have talked to a person on a microphone and played together in a game world.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I've
I made
still
it this
never
long.
done it.
We got to do it,
Yeah,
man.
I've never done it. I don't know. I'm a lone wolf when it comes to video games. dude.
Bloodborne, man. Let's make it happen. Some of my favorite afternoons have been doing Dark Souls and Bloodborne co-op.
Oh, that's me,
Oh,
brother.
God.
Lone wolf.
Can you wait? You can't do voice chat in Bloodborne and Dark Souls?
Yeah, you can get on but you can just get on party chat on mic. And
Oh,
then,
okay.
And then join up in the game.
All right.
Yeah, and then be like, I'm ringing my bell. Are you ringing your bell? 'Cause you have to ring little bells in Bloodborne, and that's how you meet up. The beckoning bell and the bell of resonance, or some stupid From Software bullshit like that. Love you, From Software. Please marry me. I don't know.
Have you been following the? One thing that Blizzard has been really on top of is they've been really adamant about cheating in the game.
Oh.
And it's actually, people are like kind of freaking out because they're really good at catching cheaters. There's stuff like aimbots, wall hacks. There's like an entire industry based on, software that can help you play games better. And they have lifetime bans.
Right? I was about to say the penalties are brutal for cheating in the game.
I mean, with a $300,000 purse for like winning in tournaments, like
That's
they have
true.
to be pretty good.
Yeah, but who would like cheat their way into a tournament and then look like a complete fucking idiot like at the turn? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know.
A Chinese guy got caught. He got kicked out. He was like a popular streamer and got like banned live on cam. It was actually like kind of amazing. But there's actually a thread of people who, just recently, I think this month, got banned in a huge wave. Like they just gathered everyone's names and then just hit the button all at once, like Nuked from Orbit. And like their fucking responses is just like so insane. People are just like, I just got banned too. What the fuck? Blizzard, you really gonna punish people who paid you money for this game?
They should just all get to play together after that.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I think don't ban them, but they all have to play each other.
Oh,
after
fuck this line. One game does that. I completely there's like, if you get caught cheating, you just get sent to like the Shadow Realm where you can only play against cheaters.
Amazing.
This is another cheater that it was posting in a forum. This is unacceptable. It's 2016, Blizzard. Cheating happens. A slap on the wrist is always better than lynching the person.
Okay. Hearing it. Right. Well, these are like probably 12-year-old kids, right?
Yeah.
God, I had the funniest time, by the way. Speaking of playing people online, I was playing by myself last night or 2 nights ago. It was like midnight or something like that. And I was just going solo. But sometimes it'll just dump you into voice chat automatically because I don't have that setting turned off. So, like, and anyways, it's fun to listen to people, whatever. And I'm just sitting there alone in my apartment. So I'm just maybe saying fuck under my breath every now and again, like nothing real, And I just start hearing these kids just like, oh man, we gotta take them down. You gotta use, kid, they have a Genji. They have a, oh boy. And I was really impressed. None of them cursed and stuff either, but it was definitely a bunch of kids like up too late on a summer night, you know? And I was just like hearing this flat, and at first I felt gross and weird about it, you know?
Good. Follow that instinct.
Just listening to the children, you know? But then I was like, well, I'm not gross. You know, I'm a 33-year-old man listening to 4 children speak to each other in a video game. But man, it just like took, it was like a really cool, I had like a really cool moment of like nostalgia from the past of like playing video games with my friends on this in the summer.
No
you know?
odd jobs.
Yeah, right.
Are you cheating? Come on, stop using proximity mines.
Oh man, like when we lost and hearing all the kids just be like, oh darn, oh boy, come on, and they would say like really obvious stuff about the game that like there's normally when I'm coordinating with like we're not talking about, it's like we gotta protect the car. It's like I know we have to protect the car. That's the basis of what's going on here. Ooh. Interesting.
No, sorry. They pulled the climbing guy out of the window, so it went. Yeah, they got him.
They got the climbing guy. So if anybody knows that will mark this date and time for anybody listening. We are recording this while the man was climbing Trump Tower.
That wall crawler's a menace.
So there you go. We were talking about nostalgia, and you just got a little nostalgia from a few weeks back.
Yeah, for me, it was me and my buddy playing Battletoads. It's like, I'm going to be Rash. Oh, I'm going to be Pimples. And then we'd have a great time until the hover bikes. And then game over.
Game over when you get to the hover bikes, man.
Yep.
That was a brutally difficult game. And one would say, in hindsight, a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
Very glitchy, very just clumsy, kind of, you know. Well, when you think about it, too, it was totally bad. We'll do an episode on Battletoads, I'm sure, at some point. But
we should do a roundup episode of just all the not Ninja Turtles.
I was about to say, it was just a Ninja Turtles knockoff, but I didn't see the forest for the trees back then, you know? I didn't realize that they were just manipulating my childhood mind.
You should have gone in full, like, you should have just been like their impromptu laser daddy, that game. You should have just been like, oh, geez, they got Soldier 76 and Ejecta B. We need someone. Can we get it? And be like, to me, my sons.
I was like, all right, let's do it. Like, I did speak up a couple times and be like, yeah, we got to get in there. We got to get. Oh no, they got a Bastion on the roof.
I'm in a country music band.
Hey kid, do you know what weed is? So that's the funny thing is I am like getting really high drinking an IPA while this is happening. You know, like just you know. That my favorite is the unmistakable bong noise on the microphone. Like every time I'm playing with a group of friends and I just hear that, like just cannot be anything else. Right? And everybody just starts laughing, and the guy's just like, what are you laughing at? Which has happened so many times. It's so funny to me. Like, nothing is like that sound.
That's, God, yeah. No, they've done it. Like, it's one of the fastest selling games of all time on PC.
It's really something.
It accounts for 30% of playtime in Korean internet cafes.
Oh, my God.
Which, for online multiplayer games, is one of the most important statistics you can possibly have.
Yeah, that's completely insane. It has over 15 million players reported in early August.
That's nuts.
Right?
That's a state.
And I mean, it was one of those situations where I was like, I don't like these games. I'm probably not going to get this, but I just the fucking critical reaction plus every single one of my friends telling me how great this game was broke me down and finally forced me to get it. And I mean, what's great is like I'm like, oh, I'm just going to always be playing this game. Like no matter what other game I'm playing, I'll just pop this on and play a couple rounds at the end of the night afterwards or whatever. If I want to like a little break or something like that, or if I just want to hang out with my buddies for a little while, which is what gaming has turned into in a lot of ways for me.
So what's your favorite map right now? What's your favorite game mode map?
Well, I think it's the Japan one.
Oh yeah,
if you're it's like it's the Hanzo map or whatever. It's the Hanzo is it Genji?
Genji.
Yes, Hanzo, Genji. They are brothers, by the way. If you want a little bit of lore there, we could talk a little bit.
They
about
don't
the
get
lore real
along
fast,
ever
too.
since Hanzo murdered Genji.
That was the problem. Hanzo did a bit of a murder on Genji. Also, Farah is Anna's daughter. Farah's really fun to play as, by the way, as well. She can rocket up into the air, and she has a rocket launcher, and she just like you can.
It
just,
feels like classic Quake. Feels like that
yeah,
old or
yeah.
Unreal Tournament. Like you just rockets flying everywhere.
so much fun to play. And again, I have to reiterate that fact that like every single character, even the ones I don't like to play as much as others, every character is fun to play. That is such an accomplishment on Blizzard's behalf. And they're going to continue to release more characters. It's an incredible thing. But yeah, Japan on defense probably, because I can play as Torbjorn and just set up turrets up in the wings or whatever.
Oh,
It's
you
just
fucking kill whore.
yeah, right. It's just like it's probably the only map where I can kind of set my watch by winning on defense, because if you just have the proper setup and everything's kind of working together. Favorite game though to play probably would be the escort. Escorting the payload is so much fun.
Do you know some of the secrets behind the escort missions?
How so? Like lore secrets?
Yeah. Do you know
No, I've been trying to figure that out all day while I was doing research. I was like,
So-
why? What is the purpose of these missions?
Well,
And lore.
on the Winston map, it actually says in Winston's lab that it's a satellite drone that, in theory, if you get it successfully to the launch site, it'll reactivate Overwatch. The fact that all the characters of Overwatch are currently escorting it doesn't matter. This is fucked up. This is legit. On King's Row, you are personally escorting an EMP bomb into basically the Omnic robot ghetto to annihilate them because there was a terrorist cell that had been located.
And we didn't really talk about that with the whole background of the plot, but
Because it matters and it doesn't matter all at once.
Well, first of all, I would highly recommend the videos that they put out. They put out a few little shorts, Blizzard did, and check them out on YouTube.
Almost Pixar quality.
Yes, really well done. Like really, really way better than they really ever needed to be. And that just goes to show the attention to detail and quality that Blizzard puts into their games. I'm really selling Blizzard a lot right now, but I don't know. I'm like,
They
really
did their jobs right. It's
they
rare.
Are crushing it. It's so rare. So it's set 60 years in the future of a fictionalized Earth and 30 years after the Omnic Crisis. What's the Omnic Crisis? I'm a German jerk.
Don't make fun of my voice. I just had a simple question.
Well, person in the room.
Thank you.
The Omnic Crisis was essentially like a Terminator situation. They made a bunch of robots, artificial intelligence. They ended up going against the humans and killing everybody. So
When you say it's more of a Matrix situation, no, I'll just shut up. You continue.
So they set up the Overwatch to watch over the people and protect them. It was led by Soldier 76 and Reaper, who was not originally Reaper. Was just like this soldier guy, Gabriel Reyes. Yeah, and they stopped that, but then there was all these like rumors about like problems in the organization. So society turned against Overwatch. They had since disbanded, but then some terrorism and things like that have been going on. Rumors of another Omnic Crisis happening in Russia, and so Winston in the video actually is the one who pulls the trigger and gets the whole Overwatch crew back together.
What about the Omnic Crisis?
Well, I was just getting to that. The UN started the Petrus Act, which disbanded the Overwatch. I don't know. I'm just saying facts now.
No,
Whatever.
but like Dota has a plot, like League of Legends has a plot about like gods and stuff. Like it's always there as like background text as like a little bit of flavor to help you get immersed. In Overwatch, it's actually kind of amazing that the characters will kind of like give these vague statements to one another in the pregame. And that'll like hint that they have a history together, and it's just meant to like pique your curiosity. It's not supposed to be like read like an actual novel or a series of concurrent events.
I remember what I was going to talk about, and that's the character Zenyatta, which is a sort of Buddha robot, which I think is such a cool
He's my
fucking
favorite
idea.
design, but he's really tough to play, and they keep tweaking with him because nobody likes him.
Honestly, I'm like this dude Dapiak. Shout outs to Dapiak that I play with. He mains Zenyatta and he crushes as him. He can throw these orbs on people that heal them. He can throw orbs on enemies that make their damage input. But yeah, just fucks their shit up. And he can kind of and he's actually more powerful now with his attacks, where he's just throwing these like balls at people or whatever. He floats around, but he's like a Buddha robot. He's a robot that decided that they were sentient, and they like led a religious revolt sort of to go on and like spread enlightenment about robot kind and stuff. I thought it was just such a cool, interesting choice. Maybe someone's done it before, but it felt wholly unique to me. So I did think that was a really interesting aspect of the lore, and that's what I was trying to say earlier when I lost my thought process.
So yeah, that's the weird thing with the lore, is that they keep building it up, they keep pumping the fandom, they keep like really getting everyone involved with this universe, but also like I am a robot of peace. I have transcended. What is human? What is conscious? Let us work together, arm in arm, into the future. Hold point B! I'm charging my ultimate.
We're losing this King of the Hill match right now. Yeah, totally. What's that monkey doing over here? Shooting a laser gun.
At my weird bodybuilding Russian chick.
Oh, now we're all Bastions? Now we're all going to be Bastions? I did that one time just to be a dick. I was like, everyone, we're choosing Bastion. Everyone chose Bastion. We just set up our turrets just to piss them off. They were not too pleased about that.
You can't hear the other side, right?
No, but you can just feel it. You can just feel the fucking rage
across the internet. Yeah.
And by the way, I really like that you can't hear the people talking trash. I really enjoy that. Well, anyways, I think just to wrap it all up, it's really hard to find something negative to say about this game. I think that you brought up that good point earlier. It's so purely fun and enjoyable, and they've just created a product that is right in line with all their other product that makes me even more afraid of playing World of Warcraft than I ever have been.
Oh, don't touch it.
I'm not going to touch it, Jake.
Dude, we'll lose you.
I don't want to. Or Hearthstone.
You'll die in a fucking Korean cafe like thousands before you.
I was thinking about getting Hearthstone, and I'm just like, no.
Hearthstone's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine. I mean, no. I mean, like, it's very fun. It won't kill you.
Right. It won't murder me. Man, they make good products, and this is another one in a line of them.
Are we even going to mention Battleborn? Poor Battleborn.
I was going to mention Battleborn. Thank you for bringing it up. Sad poor. Well, that is, again,
poor baby.
Maybe that's the negative thing you could say. They are ruthless with their marketing. They put out the Overwatch beta on the release date of Battleborn, which was totally a fucking ruthless, definitely a planned move.
Right for the fucking jugular.
And crushed Take-Two's, at this point, I think we could probably pretty much say failure of a co-op shooter game, Battleborn. Man, that was brutal. So that's one knock on them, but at the same time, it profited them immensely. So what are you going to do?
I mean, what would you do if, like, tomorrow you found out that, like, the head of Coca-Cola literally castrated the head of Pepsi in the middle of a town square? Because that's what it feels like.
I'm a Coca-Cola guy, so I'd probably cheer and laugh. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Bruiser and the Wizard. I'm a bruiser, and Jake?
I'm a bruiser.
All right, two bruisers closing it out today. Good night, everybody.
For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to cavecomedyradio.com.